I did a movie with De Niro and Dustin Hoffman, and it was that feeling.
What was that movie?
Wag the Dog.
Oh, I loved Wag the Dog. I couldn't.
Yeah, and I did a scene where I was in the room. I had a scene with. I only had one scene. It was a bit part, and it was with Dustin Hoffman, and then Robert De Niro was standing beside us. I didn't have lines with De Niro, but just feeling his presence.
Yeah.
And I was one of those guys. I don't go up to people and, hey, mister, can we do a picture? You know, I just kept my mouth shut. I thought, he's De Niro. If he wants to say hi, he will. And I think I was on set for 3 days, never said a word. And at one point, we just looked over, we caught each other's eye, and he just kind of went, he gave me like a nod, like that, kind of sucked his lip in, and I was like, "That's good enough for me."
Right.
Yep. And it was, but you're right. You feel the presence. I mean, my scene with Dustin Hoffman, we were doing the scene here. I'm standing with Dustin Hoffman, and he goes, we did a take. It was David Mamet's script, and
it was a great movie.
It was a good movie, and Dustin's like, okay, this time let's do this, and you say this, and I'll do that, and then we'll do. And I'm just nodding my head. I'm like, okay,
whatever you want, Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, and then we do the scene. The director. What was the director? The guy who directed Rain Man. Barry Levinson. Levinson goes, action, and we do the scene again, and we run through it, and then he yells, cut, and then Dustin just looks at me, he goes, you didn't do anything I said. And I was just honest again. I said, Mr. Hoffman, I'll be honest. I'm just so stunned that I'm here with you. I didn't hear a word you said. Because when he was talking,
did he appreciate that, or was he like? Oh,
he sort of giggled, but he just sort of looked mystified, and he didn't talk to me for 2 days outside of doing our lines. I was just, I think at his level, he's like, this guy's just kind of a talking extra almost.
Yeah.
And on the final day, I was standing on my spot, like looking over my lines, and I look over. He's on the other side of the studio, and this young boy comes in. It was his son, probably about 14. And I kind of look over, and all of a sudden they're both pointing at me. And I'm like, oh no, he's pissed. Yeah. He's like, him and his son come running over. Dustin he looks all fight. He goes, were you the cop in Dumb and Dumber? And I said, yeah. And he hugged me. He wouldn't shut up. He was like my best friend for that last afternoon.